welcome to season 2 of On the Spot. At On the Spot, we discuss the issues.
Hey guys and ladies, it's another episode of On the Spot. First, a big thanks to all of you who continue to tune in every Monday and on our socials for the show. A special thanks to our amazing partner, the National Revenue Authority, who believed in us enough to support us to bring to you this show. Thanks as well to you, our sponsor, the Anti-Corruption Commission, the ACC. We all together should join hands in fighting corruption. Okay, on to the discussion. I remain your host, Stella Bangura. So in this episode, I have two very beautiful, exceptional, and multi-talented ladies who are just smashing the movie industry. Alimatu, Farakan, Sesay, and Sia Comfort Nyoke are household names in the entertainment industry. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
I think it's my lucky day. I think it's my lucky day. I'm in the midst of two beautiful celebrities, super celebrities. I'm feeling very important now. Thank you.
Beautiful is an understatement.
Yeah, but you know, but we don't do enough of that, yeah? Compliment each other, compliment a sister when you see them, and just say, you've done very well, well done. And just, it goes a long way, it goes a long way. Thank
At
you.
least it's helped you increase on your confidence and I'm doing good. And she right there, that one person I'm admiring is also admiring what I'm do.
Doing,
So let's keep clapping for ourselves.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so happy. Finally, I have those two people sitting down on the chair.
Now, I'll be starting off the discussion with Alimatu while I boot off Sia off screen for a bit.
Of course, it's On the Spot. So Alimatu Farakan Sesay needs little to no introduction if you're a big fan of the Sierra Leone movies or keep up with the entertainment industry. Now, interestingly though, she has a certificate in population studies. I know. Anyway, and a bachelor's degree in commerce and currently pursuing an MBA from the University of Sierra Leone. She is a scriptwriter, an actress, producer, and the owner of the very popular production entity Lema's Diary that have brought to your screens movies like Wild Emotions, Together by Law, and the very recent movie Profit Points that have seen her feature acts like Delish George, Cadison Duwai, Hawa Kamara Toure, and a host of many other amazing acts. She's a mother, wife, and also a professional banker. All right, Alimatu, once again, thanks for joining me here on The Spot.
You're welcome.
Oh, well, where do I start from? Let me start from the top. Alimatu, what was childhood like for you?
Childhood was crazy. I am from a very humble home. I'm a Limba.
Oh, my Limba sister.
Interestingly, I was born in Kenema with 5 sisters. I am the 6th, the last born, and at a very early stage, we lost our father.
Wow.
Yeah. So our mother moved with us here in Freetown in order for us to survive. And at that very young age, my mother was tagged as somebody who cannot have boys. So at the end of the day, all of our kids will be prostitutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we
because she didn't have boys.
Yeah. So one of my uncles who I just paid his daughter's fees last month said that to me, and I can remember that word. I was very young, so he tagged that to my sisters and I that will be prostitutes because our mother moved from Kenema to Freetown, so it will be hard for her to raise girls, because she doesn't have boys. We're all girls, you know. So it was inside my mother that I have to prove a point that even girls can be something and they can do something, you know. So I grew up around Patton Street, Kisio area. Although most of the time I'll spend some of my time in around Shell Company. There was this park. I was selling, my mother was selling fufu and yebe there just to make sure that we go to school. So after school, I would sell water and ginger beer when the cars are moving to Kenema, the provinces. Yes, so, and I was playing poker by then. Yeah,
Really?
and I grew up in a park. Basically, after school, I'll come and help my mother. She has to pay school fees. So basically, we survive like that, me and my sisters. And today, one of my sisters who lives in Germany is a doctor. My other sister is a lawyer. She's in Holland. And the other is an accountant. I work at the bank and I do movies. Yeah. We lost one of our elder sisters though, in all that.
I'm so sorry. May her soul rest in peace.
Amen.
But going back to that uncle, have you guys ever sort of confronted him years later and taken a look at how all of you have grown out to be amazing women in your own rights? Have you had a sit down with him to say, this was what you said and look at us today?
Well, my mother is a very traditional woman. And growing up, my mother is very disciplined like a man. Very disciplined. So she just advised us not to re-echo such, because we've become already what we want to become. We've proved him wrong that, okay, this is what you said and this is what we've become. So it doesn't matter. We should not even go there again. And we said, okay. So normally when he'll come for his kids, to help them, blah, blah, blah. One or two words. We'll say one or two words, just to remind him and take him back. You understand? Put him in his place.
And has he ever apologized for that?
No, he hasn't. So that is why I haven't forgotten. He hasn't. So
I think probably it's a good thing he said it. Because maybe that would not have inspired your mom so much that my children have to do better.
Yeah.
It may not have even inspired you all to say, no, we will not allow this to define our mother. The expectation of people. So certain things are for our own good. Oh, wow, that's so unfortunate. But
really,
look at you here and look at you right on the spot. So you, first of all, let me understand. What is it with you women? My next guest, who of course was just right here, Sia, read social work, and she's now doing her master's in community development. And you did. I mean, what is it with you people? You're reading one thing and you're finding your passion and you're chasing your passion, which is in the entertainment industry, and yours is even a lot more funny because. You're in the bank, sister. You're in the bank.
Yeah, I know.
Explain. Let this make sense to me. Let it make sense to me.
So this all will make sense to you if our society begins to design. Of course, if you become a mother now, Stella, you'd want to know what your children or your kid would love to do. And ever since I was young, ever since I was in school, I used to act plays. In fact, I have my certificates up to now. I write plays. When I was in school for prize giving with my head of English department, Mr. Vandy, who is late today, he teaches me how to write scripts because he saw that I was interested.
This was at what class?
This was at class 6, Holy Trinity, and I moved to government model again, which I still continue in the same thing. You understand? It is just because at a certain age in our lives, our society is not designed for such that. True. Okay, so you know what?
Oh, yes.
My daughter loves writing scripts, blah, blah, blah. I need to take her to certain platforms so she can acquire the necessary education to be professional in this. And so that wasn't designed for it. By then, my mother was so strict. She wanted a doctor, she wanted a lawyer, she wanted an accountant, she wanted somebody at the bank, and you go and say,
no, I want to be an actress.
In fact, when I was in year 2, I told my mother that, okay, so I've got so many scripts now that I have been writing with pen and paper. I need a laptop at this stage. And she was like, okay, we'll try and get you a laptop, but you don't have to do any movies till you graduate.
Wow.
And if you graduate, all of us will contribute, so you make your first movie. And which happens. That is what they did for Wild Emotions when I graduated. When I graduated 2016, and I started shooting Wild Emotions with the contribution of all of my friends and family members. Yeah.
Wow, that is really strong. I love that.
It is an interesting.
Wow.
It is an interesting journey.
Oh my God! And obviously, it's not been a very rosy journey. You know, when you look back. So you did go on. You know, African parents will always be African parents everywhere. They always want you to be the lawyer, the doctors. If you tell, I had a guest, Alim Kamara, and he just put it so nicely. They want you to be the lawyers, the doctors. When you tell them you want to go and act, they say, finally.
Okay, so this was interesting. When I graduated from Farakan College 2016, I got a job. And that's and I only spent 1 month in that job and I quit.
And what was it? What role was it?
It was an office assistant because I just graduated by then and I needed to know more and understand about the whole, the whole working class thing.
Yes.
I didn't like it. It wasn't fun for me. So I quit and started shooting Wild Emotions. And when we premiered Wild Emotions now, and Wild Emotions was out, my mother was like, okay, so her friend was telling her, that you picking if me fine, no, Alimatu. I say left hand day, now for that job, that useless thing they make he left that job. But it is so I got a job again after Wild Emotions because somebody saw me through the marketing, the way I was marketing Wild Emotions using the media and all. So that person saw me and was like, you know what, we need somebody like this. At the banking level, blah blah blah, and you've got the face, you've got the skill. So we need you to come and work. We'll give you time, chance. We'll even help you to be doing your movie, but we'll not show face, but we'll just allow you to do your movies. And
So,
like,
your bank, the bank you work with right now, they do support your movies.
Yeah,
they support your work.
Yeah, they support
financially,
my work, not financially, but morally. Then every of my colleagues at the bank will make sure that they buy tickets, they sell tickets, they buy CD, they advertise. That is how they are willing to support. If I need time, to go and do something quickly, they'll give me that time. I'll take my leave when appropriate, when I need to do something, when I need to premiere, when I need to go and shoot, I'll take my leave. Those are the moral supports one should give you.
You've done such an amazing work. I mean, I have watched I don't watch Sierra Leone movies yet, but there are just a few that I've actually watched, and I'm like, oh my, this is really beautiful. So I have watched Wild Emotions. I know Wild Emotions had
Ramadan,
Hawa Kamara.
Yeah.
And then, it was a really very interesting storyline. And then you did this very nice one, Together by Law. And first of all, I remember I was thinking, I love the poster. It doesn't look like a Sierra Leonean content. So we're going to come back a little bit and talk about what was the journey for you like putting together Lema's Diary, the production company. This is On the Spot. We'll be right back.
Domestic revenue mobilization is a key instrument for the government of Sierra Leone in reducing poverty, increasing financial independence, achieving middle income status, and charting the path for new directions. From supporting the free quality education, good roads, healthcare, electricity, and more.
Domestic revenue mobilization is very critical when it comes to national development.
Through the Asikoda World, we have developed beautiful management tools. We have also developed systems in which it will bring transparency and help to the importer, to the broker.
iTax is a platform for all your domestic taxes. The electronic cash register system is the game changer.
Let's support government by paying our taxes. For more information, visit the nearest NRA office or log on to our website www.nra.gov.sl.
right, welcome back. This is On the Spot, and I have with me the screen diva, the diva herself, Alimatu Sesay. So, we left off on Lema's diary. How did that baby come about?
Well, the name Lema's diary, I remember somebody, when after premiering Together by Law, somebody told me that I stole the name from Jennifer's diary, and I smiled.
Oh, wow.
I have been through a lot in making films in Sierra Leone. I remember shooting.
Oh, wow.
I remember shooting Wild Emotion. Somebody told me I can't act.
Who, you?
Yeah.
Can't act.
Somebody told me that I can't, I won't make it in this industry because it's too rough, you know. I don't smile always. I'm too strict. But that is how our society is designed. When you're a lady and you set some boundaries, you're serious about what you want, they place you.
And you know what you want.
Yes, they place you. So what I would say to young people is don't allow their placement to get to you. I have been called names when I started making films that I can't act. Somebody who I trusted, I haven't forgotten that.
Of course, I didn't think you can't
Said
forget.
it that I can only be a producer, but I can't act because I am not too beautiful. And I was shooting Wild Emotions, and I smiled, and I make him company, and I make him a part of my team so he see and understand the process. That is what you do as a lady. When you come, set the boundaries. Make sure you are serious. You know what you want, and you know where you're going. So the name Lema's diary comes from me writing from books, because by then when I started to write, I up till now have my diary. I don't have laptop by then. You know, my mother or my parent can't afford laptop for me by then.
So you had this big diary.
Yes, so I have this big diary that I'll go and write my scripts, I write my titles, I outline my story. So that is where I go whenever I want to make a movie. I go back to that book because I have them there. I just have to re-edit and review. Then I have what I want. You know, so Lema's diary comes from that. I have gotten that name ever since I was in SS2.
So how has the journey been like for you, you know, taking this company? I kid you not, you've done an amazing work with the content that you keep putting out to the public. How have you been able to do it?
First of all, I research. I've got a mentor called Tyler Perry, of course, we all know him. I follow Tyler Perry a lot. When Tyler Perry started the whole Tyler Perry thing,
it was a joke to many people.
Yeah, it was a joke to me. He was called names. He wasn't. Some people don't even give him an award, you know, but today they even call and beg him for awards, you know. So by then I understood what is missing in our industry. You know, at times people don't take you seriously when you're not consistent.
Yes.
What makes the world nowadays is branding. People don't care if you cry, if you eat, if you don't eat, if you sleep, if you don't sleep. What they see is the beautiful Stella that comes on the spot. Show every day. So I figured that out. People, most of my friends around me, when I go to college, I would say, we don't want war. We don't want to see war. And by then, most of our movies are only about war, about what we've been through. These are what? Yes, everybody around the world knows Sierra Leoneans. We've been through a lot. That makes us a resilient country. But how can we tell other people there that we've got beautiful beaches, we've got beautiful hotels, our young people are beautiful, we know how to dress, we know how to do our makeup properly. So I was well baggage to come in that, okay, so now I want my poster to be different. I want to tell happy story. I want the younger people. My intention was to change the young professionals, and I did it.
And the faces I'm sure that you usually see on your typical Sierra Leonean movie, because I've noticed you use a lot of fresh faces.
Because if you look at my documentary, you see my aim was to change the young professional, bring fresh face, because bring the millennials into the business, you know, bring the new ideas, you understand, the people that can actually showcase the Sierra Leonean content that I want to show. The way I do my stories, the way I do my posters, my trailers, you know, thanks to the team that I have been working with, you know. So there's some certain things that was intentional. I'm very deliberate in anything I do.
Let me ask, and I'm going to ask the Davido question. Do you have 50 billion in your account?
I don't.
So how are you putting this amazing work together? funding? Because I know that's one major challenge still the Sierra Leone entertainment industry is dealing with. Funding, investment. How are you just making all this magic happen?
So I told you for my first movie, the
first one was family and friends contribution. So we understand for Wild Emotions.
So, and the second one was, I was born in Sierra Leone. I understand my people. You understand? So if I want to design a movie like 6 months from now, I write proposals. I write like 20 proposals.
Yeah.
You understand? Even if I need Stella, I'm shooting a movie 6 months from now, and in that movie I have a show, talk show, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. What I do is I arrange what I need. You understand? I do it beforehand. I write to Stella a proposal. Stella, I'm designing a movie. I'm casting blah, 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 blah. And this is what I have done. In this movie, I have a scene that I will need a show. Can you please help me? You understand? Stella will come in with something. Stella will come in, okay, Alima, I don't have money to give you, but I'll make sure that the day you need to shoot that particular program, I'll be responsible for my own crew, the crew that I normally shoot my show with. And I'll presently be there to do that particular scene for you. You understand? I'll be responsible for the water. Don't worry, I'll support you with that. So I use so many brands, so many other things to write proposal, to tell them what I want. I engage people, I explain to people, show them my work, and I do VIP sales with what I have done already. So the support comes in. That is the strategy that I use. I even write proposal to my husband himself.
The husband.
And I want to do
how first of all, okay, we're going to come back to, we now need to come to the husband story. The husband story. So we'll take a break. We'll be back. This is On the Spot.
The ball as a terminal, I don't lay behind his own. The English language question paper. It's only 500,000 leones per person. Unatilo. Young lady, yes, you can wait. I want to discuss something with you. Okay. As I don't tell you earlier, I get all the question papers there. Yeah.
Kamala, please stop. Stop.
Your company all corporate. Why you blame me sir to get? Or you want to spend the rest of your life to take this whole exam again?
What about if I stay with you tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 12 o'clock, come meet me. Who's it? Oh, Kaisa, young lady.
Good afternoon, sir.
You're more beautiful and sexy.
Thank you very much, sir.
Wow. Take off your clothes. Wow. Come close to me. I don't tell you that all the leakages in this, I don't lay my hands on them. I get them all in different subjects.
Yes, sir. I'll be working on it.
Sure, don't stay on. What's happening? We are the Scorpion Squad from Anti-Corruption Commission. Mister, you're under arrest. Officer, now arrest him. What's happening? How many job have you do? How many job have you do, officer? There we go.
We, the teachers them, we will always be role models. We will never get involved in such a shameful act.
Okay, welcome back. I think we're coming to the juicy part of the conversation, which is the husband part. It's not easy. I tell you.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Finding a man who supports your passion. Finding the man who says, my wife is in the entertainment industry. There's likelihood she's going to have a kissing scene. She's going to have a scene where the man is touching and rubbing. You know how men can be so just overprotective and just so insecure. Men, people are going to, objectify my wife, or, just sort of, there's just this always fear. But having a man who knows that, okay, this is who I married and I trust her, and supporting her through, because you work in the bank, that's a full-time job in itself. You are a filmmaker, you have a production company. I'm not even going to imagine the work that entails. You produce, you act, and then you have a family to run. How are you balancing this? How is your husband supporting you through this process?
That part.
How long have you been married for? Maybe that may be the magic.
8 years. I got married when I was 20.
Maybe that's the magic. Maybe if you marry at 20, you would you'd probably be happy.
No. Now I'm advising girls to get married at 35.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that advice in a bit. But back to what you were saying about, just the support system.
Well, my husband had been very much supportive from day one. He's very understanding, So what I normally say to people, especially young girls, when you're choosing a partner, choose somebody that doesn't only love you, but understand you and expect you. Above all, somebody that is, what can I say? That you guys, you understand each other, you
have
talk.
Something beyond sex and that moment of love. Because at some point in time in marriage, love actually fades.
It fades.
It's not that
what you need is
companionship.
friendship. You understand the understanding, because at some point in the marriage, especially now after 2 kids, me and my husband will just talk in the morning when we're washing. Hey, what up? How are you doing? Everything in the freezer, is it okay? Blah, blah, blah. Can I get back to you? I say, I'll get back to you via WhatsApp. I'll send you some of the things that we need. You understand? Sometimes it will be very tense, especially when I am shooting a movie. I'll be shooting till maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. And I have to return. Maybe my husband is sleeping or my kids are sleeping. I'll just maybe talk to them when they're sleeping and I sleep, So it will be crazy. So get a partner that you guys can talk, when there is a partnership that is full of respect, not only love. Because love at the end of the day won't be enough for you. Because you've got this is a world that all of us are doing something. We have got something to do. Apart from the fact that my husband works at NACIT, he's also a lawyer. He's also extremely busy with cases. My husband even works on Saturday. You understand? So we manage it well with timing. We've got time to work and we've got time for family. That is what we don't joke with, Yeah. So
how do you're busy, your time. I know I tell people that one job that you would give me, I don't think I would ever take, even if you give me a lot of money, is in the banking field. I think it's always too hectic. So that itself means your time there's little to no time left. And if you have that moment and you still have to produce and shoot, that, like you mentioned, could sometimes run into 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. How do you manage the kids? Because this is a very tender period where they need to be groomed. They need that strong fist, that motherly fist to just sort of guide them through. How are you managing in just raising up the 2 boys? They're boys.
So I don't joke with my support system. Anybody, when you're doing something as a young lady, don't joke with your support system. Pray for a strong support system. I've got a very strong support system from my mother to my nanny. My nanny had been there ever since I got married. In fact, my kids understand my nanny. My nanny understands my kids more than me. My nanny and my mother, they are my support system. I thank God for them. I make time for my kids, especially over the weekend. When I'm not shooting a movie right now, I try my best to work smart during the day for the bank and go home by 6. at least 6. Over the weekend, I don't go anywhere. My meetings, my blah, 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 I do them on phone. You understand? When I want to shoot a movie, I plan myself. I take my leave, my 10 days leave. You know,
Do you do a full movie within 10 days?
Yes, it is possible within 14 days. You know, it is possible, especially in Sierra Leone, when everything is planned. That is why when I am working, I make sure that if I have a script, I engage the people that I needed, I engage the cast that I needed. I plan myself well, so when I get into shooting, I don't waste time.
But how do you manage? Okay, wait, I think we're jumping a little bit away now from the family.
Yeah.
But how do you, because that's a very important area, cast and crew. They can either make or break your movie. And in a place like Sierra Leone where you have to run after your cast, sometimes they're supposed to be there 12 o'clock and they come 3 o'clock. How has that affected, if ever it has, affected your production planning and timeline? Have you had to deal with issues like that?
Yes, especially from the starting. That is wild emotions. By then, the trust and understanding, the vision wasn't clear to so many people. But from Together by Law, the vision is now clear to some people. People now take it seriously and they know where you want to take all of us to. You understand? So they start to take it seriously, especially when there is an engagement of, okay, you have makeup artists, some dresses are coming in, you know, food is there, transportation is there, your top-up is there. You understand? We don't
provide all that on your set?
Yes, when you're shooting. Yes, you have to. You have to, because that will keep them coming, that'll let them understand that this is serious, you know, and I want to take all of us to somewhere, you know. So I think it's getting better now in the profession with regards to the timing, with regards to how you run after cast to read their scripts, how you run after cast to get to location on time.
So is it that the industry is becoming slightly more professional?
Slightly more professional, yeah, I'll say that. It's becoming that.
Okay. So what's the process like for you to identify your cast and your crew?
Okay, so I have crew members that I work with, you know. These are crew members that have become family members to me, you know. These are crew members that we've started from way back. We understand each other, you know. We understand each other through the struggle and even the financial struggles again. But for cast, no, I don't have cast. I don't have a production that I see Stella is a face permanently for Lema's Diary. No, I haven't developed that type of strategy yet, you understand? Yes, I have used people in 2 movies, because I want to sell certain phases that the people, the Sierra Leonean people get used to, because I learned from Tyler Perry, I learned from OJ Production. I remember I used to follow Tyler Perry and OJ Production a lot. By then, when the Nigerian market wanted to hit Africa, they were consistent in the phases they used. That is Omoto Larams, you know, Emeka and Genevieve. Till for a while, Iniedo. No, Iniedo was in, but after 4 years, you see they introduce Iniedo. So I want to be just consistent with some phases that you know, okay, there's been some consistency in what she does in terms of her casting, her characters, in the storyline, the branding of the posters. Okay.
So how did you identify them? Did you put out a casting call? I think that's what's called. Or did you just know this person by the way? I asked her intentionally because I know, like in 2 of your movies, the Profit Point, I've seen the trailer, and then this one, Together by Law, Cadison Dewey, who's an amazing gospel artist, and I'm so surprised, like, the boy can act. Oh my God, and he's so cute as well. Well, this is double, you know. So how did you identify individuals like that who, just like Cadison, is in the music industry, but here he is, he's acting?
So after Wild Emotions, I needed somebody young. And after looking at our industry, the male cast were not that too young, you know, for certain roles. And we needed more of them. We needed more spice into the whole business. You understand? Somebody that can shake some people up. You understand? So you take it seriously. So Cadison was a friend from college. You know, we were not that close. We always fight. Don't see us acting together. We normally always fight. Even just now, before coming here, we were fighting about something. He's a friend. And Cadison is a great artist, you understand? He is a blessing to our generation.
Yeah.
You understand? He knows how to sing, he knows how to
powerful
design a
voice,
lot
yeah.
of things. He's also a fashion designer.
Oh,
He
really?
draws dresses and he can make dresses. He's so much talented, you know. So but his fear was, oh, most of the movies coming out, Alima, are not nice, and you know I'm a gospel artist. I will not want to be a part of that. You know, I'm developing a whole lot in this area. I don't want to mix it up. And I was like, okay, come, we are going to do something together. I'm going to teach you. Understand? So we spent a whole month rehearsing, me teaching him how to do things and blah blah blah. Yes, and I introduced him to my crew members. You know, he himself was afraid to do this exactly. He was like, hey, Alima, can I do this? Everybody's watching. I was like, you can do it, nigga. You can do it. I was like, so we had each other back when we're shooting, when we're doing everything. He's a great actor. Yeah. You know, he's somebody that Sierra Leone should focus on. Skadison can act. Even if you switch in a production, especially me, he understands me. When I switch some things, you know, so he's a blessing. He's somebody that we should focus on. Because we need face. We need a face. You know, for me, I have been consistent with face because I see people are just, the industry is full of, today we see this today. People need people that they can see for 5 movies continuously. You understand? So they get used to them, the market gets used to them, the old people, you know, maybe regions get used, other regions get used to them.
Is that one of the reasons as well why you created Lema's Diary, like you mentioned, creating those faces for the public to be able to identify and relate to it? And I backtrack on the comment someone said, that you're not a good actor or actress, that you would not go far in the industry. Did you say to yourself, okay, I will create this opportunity and make it happen? Was that one of the reasons why Lema Diary came to birth, or came to life?
Yeah, well, ever since I was young, people judge and tag me to things. So maybe God used their tag and their placement to just push me, because when you challenge me to issues, I prove you wrong. You know, so what I do is I try to improve myself, you know. So what you say will not come to pass, what you said will not come to pass, you know. And also, Lema's Diary was purposely for me telling my own side of the story, telling how my people are beautiful, how we dress, how our young people talk, how they walk, how our beaches are beautiful, apart from the war and the Ebola. I wanted to change the whole thing to what you see. You know, I want to change the young professionals. I want to bring new people on board, you know. So that was the purpose of Lema's Diary. And I think we're getting there slowly.
I think so too. I mean, you've done an amazing work. So we've spoken so much about this Together by Law. So here it is. It's going to be the video of the week. If you have not watched it, here are some snippets, and go grab a copy. We'll be back. This is On the Spot, and I still have with me here the beautiful Alimatu Farakan, Sesay. Yeah, we'll be back.
You see, baby girl, I actually gave him the permission to, you know, date whoever he wants to date, since I'm not here or I'm hardly around, and we know how guys are. He's a man, so he needs to satisfy himself. But now that I am back, the boy is all I used to so much.
The whole world crumbles. Your body feels like hell. Your mind gets deserted. Your mind gets infected when your body feels alone. The threat of fate.
What? Trouble.
Kevin, we need to talk.
Listen to me. I told you that I was not ready to get married.
How can I get married to him? He's not even my type. Not even close.
You're not my type either.
And I want you to stay out of this. Otherwise, you're not going to do for real. So I beg, I want you get out yourself. I want you get out.
Change to blue. and you grow to see clearer, better.
I love you. And from the first day that I set my eyes on you, you've made me laugh a lot. And I like when I tease you and you get angry about the craziest of things.
When love comes, when love comes, when love comes.
All right, welcome back. I'm sure you enjoyed. You got to see Cadison. Yeah, you got to see Alima as well, and understand a little bit of the story. That was a really beautiful, powerful love story, and I know the movie premiered a little while ago, and we had spoken a little bit about financing. Your movies. What is returns like? This has been in the market now for a while. What has the returns been like?
Well, the returns, it has been crazy. The returns are normally entirely based on God. I'll not say the returns outside the sales are not fantastic, especially for Lema's, for Together by Law. The humanitarian returns, that is the aspect that I'm talking about. People who are willing, like, okay, you're doing extremely well, like, we have to come on board and help you. You get the returns, just hold on. For the sales side, you get the returns, but you have to up your game a little bit so the returns will come in double. But what we need to do now is to help you. So for the humanitarian side, the returns had been fantastic. That is how we got ourselves, we find ourselves for profit points. But for the sales side, it hasn't been fantastic at all.
Well, we're still a long way off.
Yeah.
And how does piracy affect your work?
Well, for me, I always say this to people. Piracy is not one of our problems in Sierra Leone, honestly. Because however you manage it, they'll pirate your movie. What is our problem is the distribution channel. You understand? The selling base. For example, now, if I premiere Together by Law today, you understand? I know Stella is my marketer, you understand?
Yeah.
When Stella collected all of my movies, you understand? Stella should be accountable on how much is going to Bo, how much is going to Kenema, how much is going to Makeni, our major cities, you understand? What are you going to tell for a day? You understand? So when we get our distribution channels right, that this is going to Kenema and this is what I will have in return. This is going to Bo and this is what I will get in return. Then I feel they'll pirate where you get something at the end of the day. A selling base, a television station, you understand? A YouTuber that will come and say, okay, now you've premiered Profit Points. Let me give you this 30 million news. I'll take this. Or let me give you this 15 million news. I'll take this to my TV station. I'll take this to my YouTube channel. So when it gets to that point, when it gets to that point, honestly, piracy will not be your problem. Because do you know, at some point, as an entertainer, you need people to pirate your content.
Yes, actually, I
you need
got
people
to know that
pirate your content.
Because that's how it just becomes popular. That's how you become popular.
Yes.
And eventually you start making money.
I have seen people pay, so they pirate their content, so it gets to some certain places like a wildfire. So piracy is not the problem. It's our distribution channel, our selling base. We've got a problem with certain stages that haven't been set for us to make money.
So Together by Law, how did you come about that story?
It's just, most of my stories are from my diary. I have been planning. I grew up looking at a lot of movies, read a lot of books.
And then all you were thinking, they should have done it this way. Oh, no, they should have rewritten it this way.
Yeah, the twist, like if you say now for my stories, this cup is white and there is water inside there. When I want to write the story, okay, what if there is no water inside there? What if I can turn it this way?
Okay.
So that is how the stories come to life. And I look at the realities around me. You understand? When I drive, when I take an Okada or maybe a keke, interesting people around me. And that is how I cast also. Because I have been looking at my cast members maybe all round, throughout the year. I look at you, I know you'll be fine for this role. So I just go take my script to my director and we discuss the casting. And that's why I look at age, I look at what you can offer when you come. Maybe if I need somebody to sing, somebody who is extremely cute but young, that is fit for the role, I look at different things. I look at your niche as well. I look at your niche as well. What is it that if I go talk to you, because I don't have money to pay you, but I have an envelope to give to you. I have other things that is coming back up with that. You understand? What is it that I can tap into that can help Lema's Diary grow? I look at all of that.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Lema's Diary is growing.
By
You've
God's
just
grace.
premiered, it's premiered now, the third movie, Profit Points. What's the story behind Profit Points? What's the story behind Profit Points?
The story behind Profit Points to me is whatever conversation or whatever thing you're into, what is it about that thing that makes sense to you? That is profit. But who had challenged you in your life that you can't do this? You understand? When you change that narrative, when you get something that is beneficial to you from any conversation, any environment that you are in, that is your profit points. That is how Profit Points is all about.
Wow.
Yeah.
What, did it come from a personal space as well? Because for you to have sat down and decide, okay, I'm going to plot this story out this way. This is how I think I want it to end. There must be some personal experience intertwined with that story. How much of that was from a personal point?
Most of my stories are a little bit from my personal space. And I chip in societal attitude and things that I feel that as society we should change and we should not question so much. You understand? Profit Points, you see, when you look at the storyline of Hindolo Yambasu is a lawyer and at the same time a photographer that goes into the slums for his documentary. And you see Nimata Salam, who is already in the slums and changed herself because of certain things. Then you understand instantly that what we need is accommodation. You don't judge too much. You help where you can. You don't judge. We need to love and accommodate at the same time. You don't judge people because you don't know the reason as to why they're doing what they're doing.
Absolutely.
So Profit Points expose a lot of things about the upper class and the people living at the slums. Most of the time, the people at the upper class questioning some things are the ones triggering it when it comes to the people that they can afford to pay.
When you look at that sort of story, how do you hope this is going to impact Sierra Leone or Sierra Leoneans? How do you think, because we keep talking about the mindset, and that's what needs to change. How do you hope to contribute to the changing or rebranding, the changing of the mindset and rebranding of Sierra Leone through your stories?
Okay, so Profit Point touches base with a lot of things, you understand? When it comes to prostitution, when it comes to the people paying for it, when it comes to the people who should be helping but paying for it, you understand? Why is it that as Stella now you are in your office, you're carrying a lot of money, you understand? But at the same time, you pay for things that you should be helping for.
Yeah.
You understand? Why is it that Profit Point is going to tell you? At the same time, why is it that Profit Point should tell you that maybe our slums need the vocational center? Maybe they need more schools. You need to provide more jobs in our slums. Instead of you going and you want the beautiful girls from the slums, you want the young girls from the slums. Instead of you paying them, how about you take them to vocational center, pay their school fees? Maybe that can change something. That can change our society. How about you loving people, you accommodate them without judging them?
Yeah, and probably just loving people just for loving's sake.
Yeah.
And not in the hope that you will get something out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's really a very powerful. I love that already. And
you love to see you laugh a lot.
It's just amazing what you're doing, because in your own little way, you're trying, and this is what we keep talking about Nigeria, we keep talking about Ghana, we keep talking about South Africa. This is what they are doing. This is why everybody is talking about Nigeria and South Africa and
Exactly.
Ghana is because of the entertainment industry. And when you look at what you're doing, do you think we have the space to be able to push the industry forward?
We have the space. Wherever there are people, there is space for laughter and entertainment. We have the space. We just don't have people that believe in the space. You understand? We don't have a government that is willing to invest. As I say, a government will not come and give an individual fund to people so you go and make or create content. What they do is they create the platform. So when you create your content, you understand, you get somewhere to sell and make money as the young individual. And then you continue to do what you do to survive. So you get to pay your producer, you get to pay your director, you get to pay your production manager, you get to pay your cameraman, the editor, the sound man. You understand? That is how you create job. You don't create job by come and give people, okay, so you create the platform. So when they create their content, they sell and they get something back.
But what's the number one thing you think we need to do as a people if we can accelerate the progress in the industry?
First of all, we have to love each other. We have to believe in each other. We have to celebrate each other first. As I say, nobody will come and do it for us. We have to do it for ourselves. Whatever we want to change begins with you and me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Celebrating each other. We don't do enough of that. We don't do enough of celebrating each other.
We don't.
We don't do enough of collaborating with each other. So, of course... we still have, of course, Sia. I know you're wondering, where is Sia? Sia is still here. She's just, feeling very comfortable. We'll be having her very soon join us on the program. But this is on the spot. Still more to come with Alimatu, Farakan. First of all, I remember Wild Emotions. You used the name Farakan.
Yes, that was my husband's name.
Yes, and I never knew. And for some reason, when I kept hearing Alimatu Farakan, I'm like, okay, which is which? Did you just like the Farakan name that you sort of took it? But I think it was very interesting.
Yeah.
So you've premiered Profit Points. How was the premiere? How well received was it? And I always like to talk money because it's money that will keep Lema's Diary going.
Exactly.
Because we want Lema's, you see how Tyler Perry started like a joke. And today, Tyler Perry is
something
the
else.
man. That's what we want to see with Lema's Diary. So how was the premiering like for you?
The premiering, I would say,
and how has COVID impacted, your business?
It was hectic.
Premiering and then now impact of COVID.
It was hectic, especially from the shooting. We started shooting Profit Point last year, June 10. When, in fact,
in the midst of COVID.
Yes,
Wow.
one of your crew members, Shooks, was part of it.
Shooks,
yeah.
Let's not talk about what Shooks did today, but we'll continue.
But he's still a good guy.
He's still a good guy, though.
So it was hectic, for us. People were afraid, you understand? Even my husband was afraid. Hey, you need to wait. There is this whole corona thingy, blah, blah, blah. You'd have problem, go to people's places without wearing masks, you understand? So, but by God's grace, everything comes through, it happened, and for me, everything about Profit Points was strange. People accepted Profit Points. People were willing to support the process, the premiering of Profit Points. Wow. From all of the brands that were on board, from the Sea Coach to the Unimax to the Orange SL to Ulisa and Co. A lot of brands were on board to premiere Profit Points. To Eminem's Africa, to Shalima Trading. So you see people coming on board, working together, so this one thing come out. Some people are doing the banners, some the flyers, some the polo, the t-shirts, some the tickets, some say, okay, I'm responsible for the water, crystal clear water. Some say, okay, I'm responsible for the food, I'll do the food, the popcorn, the drinks and the snacks for the premiere, and that is Unimax. So everybody contributed. So you see, Profit Points premiering come to pass. It was healthy. It was a healthy journey. It was hectic, but again a healthy one, wherein you see everybody is working towards something. That is teamwork. That is collaboration. You know, that is the love I'm talking about, and the accommodation which we need to showcase Sierra Leone. So I saw that, and I really appreciated that. You see the TikTokers, you know, the TikTokers were on board, you know, to do every other scene. Profit Point was a blessing. You know, I appreciated my people. I started to figure out and see that what people need is a very good brand, a strong one, and consistency.
Yeah.
That is what they need.
And they will always support.
And they will always support. So we have to be consistent. We have to do more research. We learn. So we acquire more information. You don't have to be proud. You don't have to be, when you don't know something, when you need support, reach out. It's okay to ask, how can I help? You know, or I need help, Stella. I need something from you. Can you help? You understand? So that is what we need. That is the only way we'll go. It was a healthy, and the premiering was fantastic. Honestly, we did our best, and the premiering itself took care of us, and we appreciated and thank God. Yeah, it was a success. We thank God. A lot of people showed up. You didn't see the photos via social media, right?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, okay.
But when are we've premiered it now. When is it going to be out for people to purchase, and where can they get it when it's out?
Well, I'm somebody that is very much optimistic and at the same time very critical. I look at the marketing strategies. I do a lot of engagement. So I know, okay, it has been a very successful premiering. How can we continue? So we get our equipment in place. So we continue to do more Sierra Leonean movies. So we are looking at that. By God's grace, the year will not end. You know, July will not end. We will see something. Let's continue to do the engagement and meet people so we know how Profit Points gets to the ordinary Sierra Leonean, because our movies, after all, are made for Sierra Leoneans.
Yes, absolutely. Telling the Sierra Leonean story by Sierra Leoneans.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So I'm not surprised why whoever it was that said, you know, we need to get you in our bank. You're going to do well in marketing. I'm not surprised why they suddenly held on to you tightly. You seem to be very, very, very good at marketing, and clearly that's really paid off for the work you're doing. So well done. Continue to do the amazing work you're doing. Thanks to all your support system, from families to friends to just those who just believe that, you know what, okay, I don't know this person, but I believe in what the person is doing. I believe it can impact Sierra Leone positively, because you do have those few people and they just support, irrespective they support. So it's just been amazing. And I told you Sia is here. Sia is coming back. We'll be right back.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Abu. I am calling for your rental tax payment.
Oh my goodness.
Hello? This is a call from the...
Your colleague is on the other line. Can you just please hold?
You are a landlord or property agent? You don't hear about rental income tax? As property owner or agent where they collect rent, the law say you for pay tax, and you tax identification number where they call team you they use for pay them.
Yes, me fumble them. The law say without this tax identification number, you not go able to pay your tax. And if you not pay your tax, the law go bet you tranga one. Welcome, sir. Please sit.
Thank you.
We don't make them easy for you now. The law say, since you the collect rent, we pass 7.2 million leons, you for come to NI and pay your rental tax just after where your tenants don't pay you done.
So no more calls from everywhere, eh?
You go just get one SMS or one phone call. We go remind you, sir.
Thank you very much.
For no more, go to any NI office near you or visit www.nia.gov.sl.
Remember, paying taxes is required by law.
So Sia is still here with us in case you have forgotten. So there's still a lot more to come in this conversation. She is joining us in a bit. To continue this amazing conversation and also get to know more about this amazing screen diva, tune in next week, Monday, 8 p.m. on this same channel and on our socials. Thanks to our partner, the National Revenue Authority, NRA, and our sponsor, the Anti-Corruption Commission, Sierra Leone, the ACC, for their amazing support. And to you watching, as always, thank you and see you next week. And as always, stay fabulous.